The shepherd leads me out to green pastures.
Dr. Ralph Stanley was known for his high lonesome singing voice and his banjo playing. Some even labeled him as the king of bluegrass. But how did this legend get his start? Ralph was born in 1927 in the mountains of southwest Virginia. He had 7 siblings and they grew up working on the farm raising chickens and cattle and growing tobacco. Ralph got his first banjo when he was 12 from his mother. She then taught him how to play and showed him her technique of the claw hammer. Ralph's older brother Carter got a guitar and they began to play together. At the age of 18, Ralph joined the Army. He would play for his lieutenants and they liked his music so much that they promoted him to a mill clerk. After he was discharged, he went home and started a band with Carter in 1946. They named the band the Stanley Brothers and the Clinch Mountain Boys. Carter did the lead singing and Ralph did the tenor. 1948, they signed with a major label, Columbia.
The longest train I ever saw went down that Georgia.
They were on high until rock and roll came in the 50s and gave bluegrass music a run for its money. Many bluegrass bands had to quit due to the lack of audience. Even Ralph questioned about leaving bluegrass to pursue his childhood dream on becoming a veterinarian. The brothers decided to leave the mountains and move to Florida to seek new audience. The early 60s were tough for the Stanley brothers. Bluegrass was clashing with country music on the radio. Some radio stations would even ban bluegrass music from playing on their stations. But Carter found a bigger situation to deal with. He was dealing with an alcohol problem and his liver was giving out. Ralph noticed Carter not being himself when he would make Ralph talk more at their shows or even take the lead vocals. At age 41, Carter Stanley passed away in December of 1966. Ralph didn't know what to do after losing his business partner, but he knew Carter would have wanted him to go on. Ralph went on pursuing his and Carter's dream, but had a tough time finding someone to take the lead vocal. Ralph was running late to a show, and when he arrived, he discovered 2 teenage boys singing his and Carter's songs on stage. It was Keith Whitley and Ricky Skaggs. He then hired both boys to tour with the band. Keith Whitley took Carter's lead on vocals. Ralph met his wife Jimmy at one of his shows, but she didn't seem impressed. He told her to come back for the next night for a second show. She did, and Ralph kissed her. In 1968, Ralph moved back to the Clinch Mountains and brought Jimmy with him. They then began to raise a family of 4 children. In 1970, Ralph wanted to pay tribute to his brother Carter. He started a bluegrass festival right in the Clinch Mountains, the Carter Stanley Memorial Bluegrass Festival. It later morphed into the Hills of Home Bluegrass Festival. In 1976, Ralph was awarded an honorary doctorate in music from the Lincoln Memorial University. By 1998, Ralph had already made up to 150 albums. Ralph's youngest son, Ralph Stanley II, had always showed interest in bluegrass music. Unlike his father, Ralph II, better known as Two, wanted to play guitar. He was inspired by Keith Whitley. In 1995, Ralph allowed his son to join him on stage with the Clinch Mountain Boys to sing lead and play guitar. In 2000, Ralph was inducted into the Grand Ole Opry. In the same year, Ralph's work was featured in a film, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And in 2002, he won a Grammy in the category Best Male Country Vocal Performance with the song Oh Death from the film.
Oh, death, oh, death, won't you spare me over till another year?
Ralph knew his age was getting the best of him, and in order for his festival to continue, he decided to pass the reins down to his son in 2011. Ralph decided to go on a farewell tour in 2012, but later in 2014 he announced that he wouldn't stop. June 23, 2016, we lost the Bluegrass King. He had been battling skin cancer. His son, too, took on his legacy and now is the main man of the band Ralph Stanley II and the Clinch Mountain Boys. He also continues to run his father's Bluegrass Festival. The festival is located between Coburn and Clintonwood, Virginia on Smith Ridge, where Carter and Ralph Stanley lay to rest at the Hills of Home. In 2020, it will make the festival's 50th anniversary. Although Dr. Ralph Stanley is gone, his legacy will continue on for generations to come.
Some glad morning when this life is o'er,